A winter storm just made a shocking turn that nobody saw coming. And in the next 90 seconds, I'm going to show you exactly why the next 24 hours could be the most dangerous weather event of the entire winter. Right now, at this very moment, a snowstorm is racing across the Midwest. But here's what's terrifying. Behind that snow, an Arctic blast is developing that will send wind chills to minus 45 degrees. That's not a typo. Minus 45. And if you're on the West Coast thinking you're safe, you're not. Catastrophic flooding is about to overwhelm rivers that are already at breaking point. 3 separate weather disasters all happening at once, all hitting in the next 24 hours. Stay with me, because at the 2-minute mark, I'm going to reveal which cities are about to get 7 to 8 inches of snow in just 6 hours. And at the 4-minute mark, you'll learn why this Arctic blast is different from anything we've seen this winter. Let's start with what's happening right now on radar. Snow is already falling from South Dakota all the way into northeastern Missouri. Des Moines, Iowa is getting hit. Davenport is seeing accumulation. And this is just the beginning. Because here's the twist nobody's talking about. By lunchtime today, this storm intensifies. The snow gets heavier. Much heavier. By 11 a.m. to noon, we're looking at heavy bands stretching from central Iowa all the way to eastern Indiana. Indianapolis, you're in the bullseye. Springfield, Illinois, same story. Champaign, Illinois, you might see jackpot totals of 7 to 8 inches. In one day. But here's what makes this different from every other snowstorm this winter. The temperature. We're talking widespread single digits and teens across Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. And when snow falls in temperatures this cold, something critical happens. The snow is incredibly fluffy. Light. Which means it accumulates faster and higher than normal snow. A typical snowstorm at 30 degrees might give you 3 inches. This same storm at 10 degrees, you're looking at 6 inches, maybe more. And here's the danger most people don't realize. This fluffy snow hits the ground, and because it's so cold, it immediately bonds to the pavement. Then it ices over. Your driveway becomes a skating rink. Your roads become death traps. If you're in the Midwest, you need to be shoveling today. Not tomorrow, today. Because once this snow ices over, it's nearly impossible to remove. Now let me show you the timeline, because this is where it gets intense. By 2 to 3 p.m. this afternoon, the snow spreads across Indiana, Ohio, and West Virginia. We have winter storm warnings active in southwestern Pennsylvania near Uniontown. That area could see 6 to 9 inches. West Virginia, same story. Southeastern Ohio, 6 to 9 inches on the table. Cleveland and Cincinnati will see light to moderate snow through the mid to late afternoon. But here's the surprise. By early evening, the main band of snow shifts east. And it's heading straight for New York City. That's right. New York City, Washington, D.C., you're getting snow tonight. By 10 p.m. tonight, a heavy band of snow will be lined up from Maryland near Washington, D.C., all the way into central New Jersey. This isn't a dusting. This is moderate to heavy snow during the Friday night commute. Western Massachusetts down to eastern Kentucky will see light to moderate snow outside that main band. And overnight, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, southern New England, all of you are getting hit. Saturday morning, the snow continues near Cape Cod before finally moving out Saturday afternoon. Lake effect snow will persist throughout Saturday in parts of Canada, and near Cleveland in Lake Erie. Now, here's where my forecast differs from what you're seeing on other channels. I think the snowfall totals are going to be higher than most models show. Why? Because the temperatures are so cold, and the snow will be falling for 6 to 10 hours straight in most locations. When you have continuous light to moderate snow for that long in single-digit temperatures, accumulation adds up fast. Most areas across the Ohio Valley and Midwest, 2 to 6 inches is the main range. But if you're in central Indiana, central Illinois, or near Davenport and Fort Madison, Iowa, I'm forecasting 5 to 8 inches. Most of you will see at least 4 inches. But some locations could hit 8 to 9 inches. Southern Ohio and the Appalachian Mountains, winter storm conditions are on the table. 5 to 9 inches, including southwestern Pennsylvania, and around the Appalachian Range. Cincinnati and Columbus, expect 3 to 6 inches. An isolated spot near 7 inches is possible. Now, the Northeast. This is going to be one of your more significant snowfall events of the winter so far. Southern New England will pick up 1 to 3 inches. I know that doesn't sound like much, but for southern New England this time of year, that's actually a decent amount. Pennsylvania and Maryland, 2 to 4 inches of snow. But if you're in eastern Maryland, northern Delaware, or western New Jersey, a few select locations could see 6 to 7 inches. Here's the critical question. What happens after the snow? That's where this weather pattern becomes truly dangerous. Behind this snowstorm, an Arctic blast is developing that will make the last cold snap look mild by comparison. We're talking about life-threatening cold, the kind that kills. Let me give you the numbers, and I need you to pay close attention. Wind chills will potentially drop to minus 45 degrees below zero. Actual air temperatures will fall to minus 30 degrees below zero in parts of the Midwest. At minus 45 wind chill, exposed skin freezes in 5 to 10 minutes. Not an hour, not 30 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. This is the coldest air mass we've seen in years, and it's spreading across dozens of states. Sunday morning is when it peaks. Most areas, including Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa, will see wind chills of minus 30 to minus 35 degrees below zero. Frostbite is possible within 5 to 10 minutes to any exposed skin. If you're going outside anywhere in the Midwest, you need to bundle up completely. Cover every inch of exposed skin. And limit your time outdoors. When you wake up Saturday morning, temperatures across the Midwest will be widespread 20 to 25 degrees below zero. A few locations could hit minus 30 below zero. Saturday afternoon, Minneapolis might not even make it above 0 degrees. Zero. For the high temperature, single digits all across Illinois and Wisconsin. By Monday morning, the extreme cold continues across the Ohio Valley. And here's what people need to understand. This isn't just uncomfortable, this is dangerous. Your car might not start. Your pipes could freeze and burst. Hypothermia can set in faster than you think. Now, while the Midwest freezes and the Northeast gets buried in snow, the Pacific Northwest is facing a completely different disaster: catastrophic flooding. A prolonged period of heavy rain is about to overwhelm already saturated ground and swollen rivers. Significant landslides are very likely. Major flooding is almost certain. Back over in Washington and Oregon, serious amounts of rain and snow will be falling through Tuesday and Wednesday. And those rivers are already overloaded. We reached major flood levels in the last 48 hours. It's definitely possible that happens again next week. Here's why this is so dangerous. The ground is completely saturated. It can't absorb any more water. So when this next atmospheric river arrives, all that rain has nowhere to go except into the rivers. And when rivers are already at major flood stage, adding more water creates catastrophic flooding. We're talking about water levels that could exceed recent records. Landslides become a major concern too, especially in areas with steep terrain or recent burn scars from wildfires. Now let me show you what happens after this initial blast of winter weather. Sunday and Monday, a big high-pressure system builds across the Great Plains, Midwest, and Ohio Valley. That means we won't see much snowfall Monday and Tuesday. Maybe a small clipper system in the Northeast, but nothing significant. But here's the major pattern change nobody's talking about. By Tuesday and Wednesday, the jet stream lifts north over the Great Plains and Rockies. That means warm, moist air makes a return. And we could see record-breaking high temperatures in areas like Nebraska and Kansas by Wednesday and Thursday. I'm talking about temperatures in the 70s. In Nebraska. In December, that's a swing of over 100 degrees from the coldest temperatures to the warmest in less than a week. But that dramatic warm-up creates new problems. All that snow on the ground in the Midwest, it's going to melt fast. We're talking about pretty decent melting Wednesday and Thursday. And rapid snowmelt means flooding concerns shift from the West Coast to the Midwest. Frozen ground can't absorb meltwater, so it runs off into streams and rivers. Ice jams can form. And then when those ice jams break, flash flooding happens. By Wednesday and Thursday next week, really warm air continues across the Midwest and Southern Plains. Some areas in Nebraska could get close to 70 to 75 degrees on Tuesday, which is pretty crazy. But then, here comes another twist. By Thursday and Friday, another storm system arrives. And with it, another shot of Arctic air across the northern plains and Midwest. That energy from the atmospheric river in the Pacific will intensify into a pretty strong low-pressure system by late Wednesday and early Thursday. Winter storm expected for parts of Canada and the upper Midwest. Heavy snow is on the table again. And with this storm, we could actually see thunderstorms back over in the Ohio Valley Thursday night. We haven't had many thunderstorms there recently, so that's definitely something to watch. By next weekend, another chance for winter weather. Maybe even another winter storm for the Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast. Right before Christmas, the weather pattern remains at least somewhat active. Not as active as the last week or two, but active nonetheless. And there's going to be a lot of moisture coming from the Pacific over the next week or two, which should keep things interesting. Let me bring this all together for you, because we've covered a lot of ground. In the next 6 hours, heavy snow develops across the Midwest. By tonight, that snow reaches the Northeast. By tomorrow morning, most areas will have significant accumulation. Behind the snow, Arctic air plunges south. Saturday and Sunday bring the coldest temperatures of the winter. Wind chills of -45 in some areas. Actual temperatures of -30. This is life-threatening cold. Frostbite in minutes. Hypothermia in less than an hour if you're not prepared. Meanwhile, the Pacific Northwest continues to deal with flooding. Rivers already at major flood stage are about to get hit with another atmospheric river. Catastrophic flooding is likely. Then, by middle of next week, a dramatic warm-up. Temperatures swing from below zero to the 70s in some areas. That rapid temperature change brings new flooding concerns from snowmelt. And by the end of next week, another winter storm develops. More snow, more cold, more active weather heading into Christmas week. Here's what you need to do right now. If you're in the path of today's snow, stay off the roads if possible. If you must travel, give yourself triple the normal time. Pack an emergency kit for your car. Blankets, water, snacks, flashlight, phone charger. Clear your driveway and sidewalks today while the snow is fresh. Once it ices over tonight with these temperatures, it becomes extremely difficult to remove. If you're in the Midwest or Northern Plains, prepare for extreme cold. Check your furnace. Make sure you have backup heat. Bring pets inside. Let faucets drip to prevent frozen pipes. Stock up on supplies, not just for the snow, but for the cold. If your power goes out in -30-degree temperatures, that's a life-threatening situation. Have a plan. Know where the warming shelters are in your community. Check on elderly neighbors. Make sure everyone has what they need. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, stay alert for flood warnings. If you're in a flood-prone area or near a river, have an evacuation plan. Don't wait until water is rising to figure out where you're going. Move valuables to higher floors. Have important documents in waterproof containers. Be ready to leave quickly if authorities issue evacuation orders. For everyone, stay weather aware. Conditions are changing rapidly. What I'm telling you now is based on the latest models. But winter storms can shift. Snow totals can change. Timing can adjust. Keep checking forecasts. Have multiple ways to receive weather alerts. Know a weather radio, phone alerts, local news. And take this seriously. We're not talking about a typical winter storm here. We're talking about multiple overlapping weather disasters. Extreme snow, life-threatening cold, catastrophic flooding. Each one of these events alone would be significant. Together, they create a dangerous and complex weather pattern. The snowstorm is already underway. The Arctic blast arrives tomorrow. The flooding continues through next week. There's no avoiding this, but you can prepare for it. Make smart decisions. Don't take unnecessary risks. Travel only if absolutely essential. And if you do travel, be prepared for the worst. Because over the next 72 hours, we're going to see some of the most extreme winter weather in years. The decisions you make today could literally save your life. Stay safe out there.